So it's blindingly obvious that Nigel Farage has been vindicated regarding his fights with Coutts Bank, or their owners NatWest, and that he was right all along. And they did bin him from their system, or kick him out of their bank, because of his political opinions. And if you want the proof, well, he's produced a letter given to him by Coutts, an apology letter, and one of the BBC journalists who misled people and fed them misinformation about the whole thing has apologised unreservedly. Now, I've done a video on this one, so why are you making a video on this one, I can hear you ask? Well, as ever, it's our old friends, the lefties. The lefties were cock-a-hoop. Nigel Farage had his bank account terminated. They were jumping up and down and masturbating themselves into a starry-eyed oblivion about the fact he couldn't get a bank account anywhere else, and they generally had a good time at the guy's predicament. Now, I say banking services are a human right to anyone who lives in a free and democratic society. It is very, 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 very difficult to function without one. Now, as much as these lefties were cock-a-hoop about what happened to Nigel Farage and others, evidently, because it wasn't just him this happened to, this has happened to other prominent conservative and right-wing political people, as well as ordinary members of the public. And according to Nigel Farage, 8,000 people in the UK had their banking services withdrawn because of their political opinions. And now all of a sudden our old friends the lefties and left-wing journalists, they've changed their tunes and saying it's a non-story. Now there's a lefty YouTuber called Van Man Talks. You may have heard me talk about him before. And he is the polar opposite of me. He does what I do, but he represents the left. And his videos are basically him not understanding why people like me make videos about what I care about, when I should be making videos about what he cares about and what he thinks is relevant. And that's the difference between him and I. I believe we both can make videos about whatever we think is relevant. It's our own different channels, and I couldn't give a monkey's what he puts on his channel. It's his channel after all, his opinions, his ideas, his warped ideology. And though people like the Van Man Talks may say that the Nigel Farage banking story is nothing, it's a big massive nothing burger, I will argue differently. I reckon this is a huge story, because if it can happen to Nigel Farage, it can happen to me. It can happen to Van Man Talks. It can happen to any of our viewers and subscribers, because I believe that to have a fundamental right like banking withdrawn from you, stopping you using their system, their services, because of wrongthink, because of a political opinion which they disagree with, I think it's wrong. I think it's nasty. And I don't think it has a place in a free and democratic society. Now, this sort of thing belongs in a socialist shithole, like, China is communist, isn't it? They have the social credit system there. And this is, to me, what our banking system here and other services feels like it's heading towards. So our country, my beloved Britain, will become communist in everything but name. I want to live in a society that practices free speech, free market, free enterprise. Banks should be dealing with people's money and not their opinions and pronouns. Now, even though I completely disagree with Van Man Talk's opinions, I don't think he should be denied banking services. And if he thinks the issues that he talks about is more relevant to him, then power to him. He may be very ignorant to the effects of mass migration, both legal and illegal, and he may think that Brexit is a bad idea. He may also think that the Nigel Farage banking story is nothing and shouldn't be in the news. And he probably thinks that Hugh Edwards is just someone at the wrong place at the wrong time. But that's his opinion, and he's completely entitled to it. And I would not want to live in a society where someone like Van Man Talks isn't allowed an opinion. And it's a shame these lefties can't meet us halfway and agree on that at least. So to me, the Nigel Farage bank story is huge because it has happened to me. But thanks to Nigel Farage and what he did to fight back against this immoral action by NatWest and Coutts, I have also decided to put in a subject access request, which will give me all the information I want as to why an organisation discriminated against me. And I'll let you know how that gets on in due course. And there we go, that's my video. I hope you like. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next time, Roger Trout.